Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel, thanks for joining. Welcome back to Creepy Joints. This story, you need to listen to this one. This is about a man. One man who was trusted. He was trusted in society. He was trusted with neighbours. Everybody trusted him. They even trusted him with the kids. Now, when I read about this story, when I first read about it, I couldn't believe it. And I looked, the further I looked into it, the more disturbing it got. Because I couldn't believe what I was reading, that it's happened in such a nice area as well. And he was completely trusted, this fella. He were above suspicion. He was actually an active member of the church, a really big community. And, I just thought, this can happen anywhere, can't it? In plain sight. It's there for everybody to see. It's disgusting. Let's get on with the story. Because thank you again for joining. Some of you will have heard about this story. Some of you not. So let me get this on the go. And I want to hear in comments if you found this creepy, because it freaked me out. His name was Ronald William Brown. A normal looking guy, average, a churchgoer and somebody who put on shows for families and kids. He's even been performing on stage, on TV. Like I said, this was completely unexpected. And he was caught, like I said, he was caught because somebody else was caught. They didn't go after him. He was just caught by accident. So they didn't have reason before to suspect him, or did they? A couple of things happened. There were signs, and looking back, it's one of them you think, this all adds up, this. Now these signs, one of them were in the neighbourhood, and if you can imagine, it's close-knit. This guy who lived on his own, right, drove a decent car, but the neighbours noticed he always seemed to be giving lifts to kids. He always seems to be giving kids a lift there, back, wherever they went. They could all get in his car and he'd take them for a ride. And he'd take them and bring them back, you know what I mean? There was no other than that, but he always seemed to want to help the kids. And it always involved him getting in his car. And a couple of neighbours thought this were really odd, this. You know what I mean? Especially because I don't think he had kids, like I said, he lived on his own. So they rang police in America. Right? They rang him and said, we've just got this hunch, something's not right. Something's not right. And police, they had a little look. There's nothing wrong, do you know what I mean? He weren't doing anything. In plain sight, like I said, he was a churchgoer. People knew him from church. Maybe he was just giving these kids a lift, backwards and forwards. Maybe it's certainly not something you do now, is it? You wouldn't be living on your own, taking kids all over the place that weren't yours. It just doesn't enter your head, does it? Right? This is the world we live in, isn't it? But back then, fair play on him being a bit suspicious and him taking these kids all over. Because the second time he got pulled were even more sinister. And this is the bit that really creeped me, this second bit. And he gets stopped by police and he's in his car. And they're just pulling him over. A routine check, I think it were. And they get in car. They get in car and they get him out. In his car were piles of kids' underwear and naught else. Now, that is very disturbing. If you're a guy in a car and you've got loads of kids' underwear and you've not got kids, they should have had him then. They should have pinned him then and said, what the hell is going off here? You're coming with me, sunshine, you're a wrong 'un, right? They didn't. For some reason, it got brought up, he got not even so much as tucked at station. as far as I can see, they didn't have enough. They didn't have enough evidence. There were no real crime in it. So you were like, so that's two things that are very, very odd. But at the time, they couldn't put them together and, put him under surveillance or anything like that. It was just completely in plain sight, and he goes about his business, right? And this guy, he weren't caught doing something. He weren't caught red-handed. He weren't caught. They didn't go for him. This is the weird thing as well. There were an investigation, right, for somebody else, and he popped up. He popped up as somebody that's involved in this. Now, I don't know exactly what the original investigation were, but they got this guy in, and then this other chap. Ooh, that's an interesting character. Now, that's somebody that we've spoke to before, and he weren't really a concern then, but thinking about it, and I'm telling you, it's a good job they did. And when they go through these files, bear in mind, they've got him. They've got him at this point. They've got him in custody. They're going through these files because he's linked to another guy who are definitely up to no good. They're going through files. Like I said, what they see on these files is so disturbing. They've got him. They have him. And this is in 2012. And he's been like this for years, right? Has he acted on anything? Who knows? Who knows? In the files, it was so disturbing. He was planning, and it's all in these files, he's planning to get kids off at street and eat them. He's planning cannibalism. He's planning to kill, and he's planning to eat his victims, his young victims. And there's text, and there's pages, and there's all evidence there how he's going to do it, what he's planning. Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable. If he weren't stopped at that time, what the hell would America have woke up to? And this was 2012. And do you know what's really strange? What I find bizarre, and I still do to a degree, in America, and so over here in UK, the people that defend these people, they were saying there's no evidence. He were only writing stuff down, and he said, well, we're never going to act on it. It's just fancy, I'm just writing stuff. Come on.
Agents revealed disturbing details about a local puppeteer and the twisted fantasies they say he had about little boys. And tonight we're hearing more about the charges he's facing.
Yeah, our Chris Martinez talked to Ronald Brown's attorney about those troubling charges. He joins us live in downtown Tampa with more tonight. Chris?
Well, Jameson, that attorney believes this man is innocent despite the mountain of evidence federal agents have already collected in this case. It's evidence this guy's neighbors call simply disgusting.
In a federal courtroom, Ronald Brown sat shackled and silent as he was ordered held without bond. His attorney tonight vowing to get him out.
What luck that they got him. But it weren't by investigating him, it was somebody else. And when he's away, they've put him away now. I mean, can you actually imagine that, thinking about it? The only reason that this guy was found and sent down were because of somebody else. It just happened to be in this other guy's life. It weren't actually investigated up until that point. There were nobody watching him, but he was planning everything. And like I said at the beginning, it's really disturbing, the videos that they were putting out. And you could look at them in two ways. You could look and think, that's very amateur, it's a puppet show, it's a bit weird. But I think there were more to it than that. And it's really, really sad that some religion gets caught up with these sickos, and it gets people thinking about, maybe it's put people off from going to that church. Maybe it's put a lot of people off, But what I would say to that is, it don't matter about whatever background you are, what your beliefs are. There is sick amongst everybody, isn't there? There is some disturbing people, and them that's not right in head, that plan stuff like this out, they're all over. They're in every walk of life. Oh, and bloody get shutter them all, is what I say. Yeah, just look at these pictures here, this puppet. It don't look right, does it? It's proper. I think it's disturbing, just the actual imagery on these. I think there's something about this old video I'll never forget. Look at it. And I've seen some weird videos. He is one creepy bad guy. And to drop on him by luck, Jesus. Hey, they're into an argument, is there? Him sat there writing all that out and planning all that and saying, well, we're only making it up. Because if you think about it, he's been sending out these videos, right? He's picked his community to groom and get involved with and deceive people, literally deceive innocent people. He's been caught taking kids everywhere. He's been caught with underwear in his car. What the? To me, this guy he was planning something truly unspeakably horrific. And thank God they stopped him. But for everyone that stop, it just shows you, doesn't it? You never know. You never quite know everybody in your surroundings. You know, even if it's peaceful, they're everywhere, aren't they? These sickos. I just couldn't believe it, me. I mean, look at this video here. Just watch it. Hey, is there anybody that thinks, well, he shouldn't be locked up? Or if there's anybody that thinks, well, what the hell were he planning? Because that's what I'm more leaning towards. What the hell were all this? It's disturbing. Thanks everybody for watching. It is a very creepy one. Puppets, cannibalism, all hidden in plain sight. What the hell were going to unfold? It stays with me, and like I said earlier, I've said it a few times, the more you think about this, the creepier it gets. So don't have nightmares. I'm not crying much. I'm going to do another one of these this week. The next one that I'm going to do is about a phenomena that to this day cannot be scientifically understood. It's been happening over decades. And when you see pictures of what it does, it'll frighten you. Thanks everybody. Take care. All the best.
Well, they said, Marty, come over here and take a look at our pictures. So I walked on over there and I took a look. And do you know what it was? What was it, Marty? Well, it was in Arizona, I'll tell you that right now. Ron, they were looking at some dirty pictures and they wanted me to look too. You know, that kind of reminds me of a verse I'm thinking of in the Bible that's found in 2 Timothy 2:22. And it says that you should run away from anything that will give you evil thoughts. And as your companions, you should have friends who have pure and clean thoughts and will only give you good ideas. I decided to turn around and go right back home.